Hi guys, it's Draco here, and I just wanted to record a little quick clip about emulation quality, specifically for this game, lag emulation. You can see here, okay, so what you're seeing here is these two stages started on exactly the same frame. I've done this in Sony Vegas so that these start on exactly the same frame, identical starting point. The right-hand side footage is my 420 world record. The left-hand side footage is Dage's PB, which is, by what you see in the video, a 419, but has been judged to be a 420, and I believe, and the moderators also apparently believe, is a victim of inaccurate lag emulation in the emulator that he's using, the specific core that he was using in RetroArch, whereas I use BizHawk with the GPGX core. Now, these look virtually identical, but Dage is pulling ahead very, very slightly, and what's worth noting is that these levels feature identical inputs, i.e. no inputs. You just hold left, you get to the end of the stage. And if you look here, although we started identically, he's very slightly ahead of me by this point. Now, this looks really minor, and it's like, well, you know, what's the big deal? The big deal is that in a run like this, this adds up to quite a bit of time here and there. In relative terms, like, it really doesn't look like much, but it does matter ultimately. I'm going to let this carry on through to stage 3, where a specific thing happens. Basically, there's a couple of actual strat-based tricks in stage 3 that get messed up on the left side, get executed correctly on the right side, and at this rate it's basically just going to even the runs out, even though to this point the runs should be basically identical. There's one potential divergence point that's been in the run so far. At the start of stage 2, you'll be able to see on Dage's input cam that he uses a slight stutter on the left input. This is for a speed manipulation. This is what basically makes the 420 time possible. You can manipulate Barney to go faster. Now the thing is, you could claim, well, maybe the manipulation he did simply put you on a higher value than what I got in my PB, but I'm fairly sure that's not possible because I did some extensive task testing for this before I did my run, and I know the upper limit of the speed that you can get with the speed manipulation. Like, there is a max value which you cannot go above, and the audio that you generally get with the stage at a certain point aligns with what I ended up getting in my run. It's how I knew that I had the max speed in my run, because it aligned with, you know, what had been shown in my testing. So I'm fairly sure that in my PB I was going as fast as possible. Like, you cannot go any faster, and Dage has used the exact same trick, yet he's pulled ahead. Here is where I'm going to save a little bit of time back just based on execution though, because this turtle strat, well, these couple of turtle exits were suboptimal from him because he starts moving at a slightly wrong time. Yeah, and you can see the gap is almost completely leveled out again between us, so this is just a really weird case of, like I say, we're basically doing everything identically. If anything, in the execution segment, i.e. stage 3, I actually play a bit better, but I still end up net behind, and the only logical reason for this is inaccurate lag emulation, honestly. Other than that, it's still a very good run for him, and if it's been readjusted as a 420, like, I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that, because he did almost, well, he did the speed manipulations correctly as far as I can tell, so kudos to him, but this definitely isn't a 419.